Well, here we are on the west side of Burleson. We're going to visit with my buddy Rick, see what he's got going on with his little airplane project. He's got us locked out. Hey, that's looking good. Well, he must be in his little room back there enjoying the AC. Yeah, this thing is looking great. Got his turtle deck coming along there. Well, tell me what you got going on here, buddy.
Sweating. It's
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah, it's hotter than well, I'm not going to say.
Mock-up stage on the turtle deck and a few other things, working on some problems.
I'm liking it.
But, some idea of it, lower profile of it, that's behind me. That's just mock-up. Trade that out for either good quality pine and spruce to take it up.
Mm-hmm.
I was just pricing 3-month shooting.
Oh, yeah.
You don't buy any.
Well, I've got some in case you need some.
Well,
You know what I'd use? I'd build up some. There you go. Yeah.
Laminate that.
Mm-hmm.
Put fittings on each end.
Yep.
Another one down here.
Yep.
We're planning ahead. It's a lot of brain engineering going on.
Yeah. Well, what are we doing out here in the heat?
Waiting for you to go inside with school. I bought me a drill press.
Oh, cool.
I had to have one. That little thing I had down there, that wouldn't drill a straight hole.
I hear you.
Everything needed it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go get in the AC.
Yeah, burglar alarm.
Yeah, I heard her go to yakking as soon as I opened that door.
And she's good at it.
What have we got going here, Rick?
It's just a peak pole I found. The cabanes and lift struts are all made out of wood.
Yeah. Is that a Canadian airplane?
Yeah. Them boys up there build a lot of them.
Oh, yeah.
They're very popular airplanes in Canadian land.
It's a good looking airplane.
Yes, it is. I like it. It's got that 1930s look to it for sure. With the paint and the cowling.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with wooden cabanes, even wooden wing struts, you know.
Yeah.
Put the metal fittings in properly, it'll work just fine. So you made a deal with Jim.
I made a deal with Jim. And I know he's had a hard time here lately with jobs and everything. So I decided since I was going to go with the peak pole configuration on this little guy that do the cut down in the building time and the engineer time and the design time and all that, you know, because it's pretty straightforward. So I made a deal with him and got the ribs and the sparks back.
Well, that's good.
You know, so,
You know, I mean, it's good spars, it's good ribs.
there's nothing wrong with it. It's there. You know, it cuts down on a lot of build time.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't build them for what I offer them, except but anyway, that's an under-cambered airfoil, and I got to doing some research. And for the most part, other than the little drag coefficient of the top end, it does a little better on climb, does better on stall speed, but they say as much as 3 miles an hour. And stability-wise, doesn't affect it over a flat bottom. It's the same stability left and right. A little bit better ground effect because of the under camber, but there again, depends on the conditions, of course.
Mm-hmm.
There's some things ground effect.
Well, now, of course, I probably got 500, well, I know at least 500 hours in my Pete. Well, it wasn't a Pete, but it was a knockoff of a Pete. A little over 500 hours in that airplane, and I can tell you, all you want to know about flying an under-cambered wing. So they're draggy, but man, they'll lift good gravy, they'll lift anything you can put in that airplane. that Pete and Paul airfoil will lift anything, and I think you've seen me do some.
Yeah.
Remember that time we stuck Bodine shoehorned? It took us 10 minutes to get him in that
Get
cockpit.
in the airplane, yeah.
He probably weighed 285 pounds.
No, it was a good flying little airplane.
Yeah. And it got it up. It didn't climb real fast, but it climbed.
I remember,
It's got a little bit sharper stall, you know, but I mean, it's nothing that can't be overcome. You just got to remember that you've got a draggy wing, you know, and you can't be out there getting it real slow and horsing it around like you can a Cessna 150, you know. It is not that forgiving. It'll turn around and bite you.
well, you know, a little light airplane, around 500 pounds is, with that kind of wing, I think will prove to be a lot of fun to fly.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of these guys that build these little Petes, they never get above 1,000 feet, you know.
Well, that's true. Personally, I like the undercambered wing. I like a Clark Y. I like the USA 35B. But you know, you can't beat that undercambered Pete and Paul airfoil. It's a good wing section. It flies good too. What's that puppy's name?
Well, her name is Trixie, but we call her T-Boo.
T-Boo.
Yeah. T-Boo. Hey, talking to you. Where's my kiss?
So now that you're going to use these spars and ribs and all of that, are you still going to go with a full Volkswagen or a half Volkswagen?
I'm going to go with a full Volkswagen. There's a guy in Denton built one. I'm trying to find pictures of it. Built some modified little Pete with a full-blown VW on it.
Mm-hmm.
And he says it flies great.
Yeah.
And mine being a little deeper in the front, a little deeper in the back, and 7 inches longer, how to accommodate the additional weight as far as balance goes.
Yeah.
But,
Well, it'll handle the weight as long as you don't go hog wild and add
oh yeah.
150 or 200
Well,
pounds.
I've been in a weight reduction program here too. We're working on doing that. Save a few pounds here and there.
Boy, that's cute.
And how and knowing it was over, you know, everybody that builds one 9 times out of 10 overbuilds anyway.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I gotta add this little bit here to make that difference. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, they know more than the designer did.
and it's it adds up. The weight adds up pretty quick.
Well, that's true. So what are you working on now other than the turtle
Well,
deck?
I was working on the cabanes, getting that worked out in my head, and how I'm gonna do that. Brackets. I'm gonna start sitting down and whittle out some metal brackets.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm gonna use Pete hole cabane hookup.
Oh, yeah.
You can't beat that.
Nope.
And notice here he run his strut attachment vertical, but put a piece of plywood on each side.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand why you did it, but wouldn't it make more sense to run it at the same angle as the strut? As
Yeah.
close as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's still in the works.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't beat
I do
that.
like this. That's simple and
Yeah.
strong as all get out.
Mm-hmm. He was a good designer, old Bernie was. Never had a bit of aeronautical engineering training.
What is their name? Geevy Brothers.
Oh yeah, Granville Brothers.
Granville Brothers. Yeah, neither one. They were bicycle mechanics.
Yeah.
buddy?
Well, look at what the Wright brothers did. If you go look at their airplanes and how they built them and how they engineered them, it was genius. I mean, it really was. You know, you hear people go around saying, "Oh well, you know, they were flimsy and."
They basically have nothing, the Wright brothers, to compare to. You know?
Well, that's true.
It's all pretty much.
Yeah. But then you go to look at the actual construction. There's another one down there. Who is this?
Well, that's Winston.
Hello, Winston.
Winston needs a bath. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Yeah, he wants to get petted.
Yeah, he just wants to go back in and his mom.
But you know, you look at their engineering and it was top shelf.
Well, I mean, that engine they built themselves with 12 horsepower.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not very far, but they got done on the plan to do.
That's true.
And then they expanded from there.
Yeah.
Okay, what we're looking at here is Little Pete drawing. Cabanes, he's showing 27.5, 25 3/8, which throws an incidence in this wing of, I haven't really calculated it yet, but I'm figuring close to 4, maybe 5 degrees. At that rate, Barney Pete and Pole did it at 2 degrees and had a very successful airplane. So thinking we're going that route, but anyhow, that's where we are at that.
So he's going to wind up with probably 3 degrees of angle of incidence, maybe more.
Probably, I figure it's close to 4. You can get 2 degrees off of this span right here at 2 degrees for every inch.
Yeah.
So he's pulling 2 inches plus, so I'm looking at 4 plus degrees.
Great. And can you imagine the amount of horizontal stabilizer that you've got to
Oh yeah.
rig down? Let me show you something about an under camera airfoil. And this really goes for any airfoil too. Remember, always remember that flat plate right there, that's your wing. The rest of it is just streamlining around that flat plate to get certain characteristics that you might want out of that wing. But you look at that, and let's say that this level with the horizon. Okay, you think you would think that if you did it like that, that would be level, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not. You go through the center of that nose right to the tail, and that's how much incidence you've already got. So when you go to putting in a lot more than that, let's say you're going to raise that, let's say a differential, let's say you're going to go 20 inches back here and 23 and a half right here. Now imagine how much more angle of incidence you've got, and you're just, you're taking a hammer and hammering your toenails. It's just...
Well, it makes the wing stall at a much higher rate of speed.
Yeah, and then you've got to come back here and put that horizontal stabilizer down like that, because this is going to be wanting to do this. I mean, wait a minute.
And go the other way.
Yeah. And so, all you've got is just drag, there, and you're defeating the whole purpose. I mean, dadgum, you could put that as, if you laid that flat just like that, let's say that's how you rigged it, you've still got that much incidence right there.
Yeah, just built into the wing.
That's right. So, Bernie, he had 2 degrees, I guess, something like that. You could probably go even less than that, Rick, 1.5.
I'll have to measure that, lay that wing out, that airfoil out, and measure it like that.
Yeah, take your airfoil and have you got, well anyway, take your airfoil that you've got, you lay it down on a flat piece, like that.
And measure the difference between here and here.
Yeah, and then come in there and draw that line right there and see what you've got, what you've really got right there.
Yeah, I'll do that first and figure that into the calculation.
Alright, let me throw this at you, Rick. The other day I was out in the boat and running right along, and all of a sudden it just died. No, wait a minute. Let's back up. It didn't just die. It was running fine, and I ran up to a place I wanted to fish, killed the engine, got on the trolling motor, and fished for about, I don't know, 45 minutes. Then went back there and tried to start the motor, and it wouldn't start. Just, you know, just wah, 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 cranking on it, you know. And after a while, it finally started back up. Thought, okay, that was just an anomaly, maybe a vapor light, maybe a little bit of a vapor light. Anyway, ran all the way up to the other end of the lake, shut it down, and it did the same thing. And I had to I had to use the trolling motor to get me back to the boat. Brought it home, and I thought, well, maybe it's a fuel pump problem, maybe it's, you know, this, that, and the other, and I got to goofing around, I got to doing some research, and I got to looking at that switch, that starter switch. You know, that thing does a lot. You've got off, on, start, and then you push it, and it primes it, or chokes, or primes it. And then once it starts, then it goes back to run. That old switch was starting to come apart, and the wires in there were looking terrible. So I went and got a new OMC switch, wired it in, and I haven't got any fire up to that switch at all. So I rewired some other things, and this switch it's wired right. The batteries are good, they're charged. Now what I've got is a shifter that will not allow you to start that engine with it either in forward or reverse.
Neutral phase.
Yeah. So right now I'm thinking that maybe that particular switch, I guess it's a switch built into that, has gone bad.
Mechanical.
Because it's shutting off all electricity, but I can go back there and I can jump that starter on the engine, and it'll turn right over.
Yeah, well, you're not firing the solenoid.
Right.
So when you go back there and jump it, you're firing the solenoid manually. Or if you go through the ignition system, it fires it from the front.
Yeah.
And up there again, is that transitionized or is it?
Man, this is 1991 technology.
Well, it's probably transitionized.
You think? No, it's well, maybe. I don't know. No,
Magneto per cylinder?
magnetos. Yeah.
Single mag, or you got one for each cylinder?
Shoot, I don't know. It's an old Evinrude, about a 1991. Probably got a. I don't know, Rick. I'd have to look at it.
Well, it's either capacitive discharge or it's going to be, electronic. But, yeah, I would blame it on that neutral safety switch.
You don't know anything about those switches, do you?
Well, it's just a mechanical switch.
Well, I'm wondering where it's located. Now, I've torn that down and I've got it pulled out a little bit.
The quadrant?
Yep. But I haven't sat down and looked at it. I'm on my way to feed the boys. But I was going to come back out and when I get through there and work on it a little more.
Well, it may be. It could be mounted in the engine too on the 50 case.
I've already looked. It's not back there. I can't find it back there. So I'm thinking it's in the shifter itself.
Yeah, I'll probably have to break it down, look inside. It would be my first place to do it, really.
Yeah.
But it would be a universal thing for that shifter. Because you tie that shifter to that motor with its safety switch, it takes it to legal. Or if it's mechanical in there, it's either on or off. There's no in between.
Yeah.
And all you're doing is breaking contact and just jumper across it.
Yeah. I could probably, if I can find the hot lead in there, I can probably just jump around that.
Jump around the
Just
switch.
wire around. But I do like the idea of having that that safety.
Oh yeah, that's nice. That's how they get experience.
Yeah, that's true.
Doesn't know enough to put it in neutral.
Yeah, yeah, you could get hurt pretty quick.
Well, it'll start your butt out of the boat.
Yep.
You can sit there in the water going.
Yeah, and the boat turning in circles, and it'll eventually come back and get you.
Unless you come back and shoot you up. You just hope it runs off.
Yep.
Well,
Well, I better go feed the boys. They're, what is it, 5:30? They're doing okay. I've got them back there in the back part of the hangar where my airplane is now, so they seem to be thriving back there.
mice.
I don't know.
Good chance they are.
Yeah. All right, well, I'm gonna hit the road
All
now.
right, buddy.
I like to come by and check on my old buddy Rick every now and then and see how he's coming along on his little airplane. Boy, he's a heck of a good woodworker. So, we'll see how it goes. Middle of the summer, man, it's hotter than a pistol down here in Texas. But he's got that air-conditioned room over there, and he can get a lot of work done in there. So it's looking good, and he's coming right along. So now we're headed out to the airport to feed the boys, the two little kitties. See what kind of mischief they've gotten into. There we are, coming up on Hangar 28, the old EAA Chapter 280 hangar. Nope, Jim's not here. Time to Fly Museum. And here we are. We have arrived. Boy, John Brausenhauser, or whatever his name is, I can't remember his last name. Man, he is one heck of a good builder. Look at that laser. It's beautiful. He built that airplane over 20 years ago. It's a gorgeous airplane. Well, I thought I'd show the old Jacobs we've got sitting back here. It's an old Jacobs R755. Pretty doggone big radial engine. Supposed to be a zero-timed engine. Of course, you know, we'd have to tear it down and look at it and make sure it's okay. But, you know, I think Cessna 195s flew with that engine, or not this particular engine, but those engines, the 755s. Waco cabins, so forth and so on. Big biplanes like that. And there's a Ranger engine. Great big heavy inverted 6-cylinder. I've flown behind Ranger engines in a Fairchild 24. Man, they're nice, smooth. Goldwing Stinson. Well, there's a new one Jim was telling me about. Somebody took a cub kit of some kind. I don't know if that's called Goldberg or what kit that is, and tried to make it kind of look like a Spirit of St. Louis. Yeah. Sopwith Camel, that's a little airplane that Rick built. Beautiful workmanship. We're supposed to be feeding the kitties, and here we are admiring the models. An old radio that came out of a B-17, boys. Look at that old headset. It's heavy too. Man. Those were dinosaurs. And here we have the fuselage, and we've got a bunch of parts to it too, of a Davis DA-2A. That was donated to us. We've got the drawings. Our EAA chapter does take donations. If you've got a cub or a champ or anything like that, and you want to donate it, we can give you a good tax write-off. We'd really like to have some flyable airplanes for doing young eagle flights. So anybody out there feeling generous, we'll take it off your hands if you've got one to donate. Well, the boys are fed, or they're feeding now. They seem to be really happy. I don't think they're catching mice, but maybe there are no mice in there. Maybe just the kitties being there is deterrent enough. Good looking Bonanza. Forked tail doctor killer. Yeah, gonna give the old hens some Doritos. These are cafe style on the border Mexican food chips. I think the girls like it. This is what's been aggravating the tar out of me for the past 3 days. Trying to figure the problem out with this little baby. I've got it stripped down. I've been doing all kinds of rewiring. Got the shifter throttle out of there. Put in a new switch. Hopefully I'll get it figured out before too long. Well, I guess that's going to wrap it up for this time around. Just been out goofing around all day. Haven't gotten a lot done, not a lot of aviation or boating or any number of things that I like to do. But we did get a few things accomplished, and we can be thankful for that.